Hi, this is Brian Johnson, and this is going to be a summary of my product search and rescue method that I use in order to help brands get their products noticed by shoppers, get the shopper over to the product listing, and ultimately have that shopper convert to a sale for the product. The method that I use here for the analysis for this audit is called Attention, Interest, Desire, and Action, or AIDA, which is a common sales tactic that's been around for years. It applies here because what we're trying to do is we're trying to grab the attention of the shopper among a lot of different competitors. We're trying to get their interest enough to pull them through to our product listing. And then we want to get them to have desire for the product itself to ultimately really to turn into the action of converting or purchasing the product. So it does fit well. So when I look here at the chocolate gift box niche, the first things that I need to make sure is that my product, I don't have a product in this. I'm simply looking at the product niche as if I was going to introduce a product to this particular niche. And if I wanted to dominate, if I wanted to take over this category and dominate my competitors, here's the process I would go through initially just to see how I can stand out. First and foremost requirements in attention, of course, is to have Amazon show my product in the search results as part of the organic search results. Okay, so the listing shows up in organic search. I'm not going to go into detail as far as like how to have a product rank organically. That's a much bigger topic. But the second thing is to have Amazon show the product ad, in other words, a sponsored ad or a sponsored brand ad for the product that I'm selling. Either one of those, or ideally both of those, will get some kind of visibility in front of the shopper on page one. So that's the kind of the prerequisite for the rest of this analysis. Second is we're going to take a look at what does the main image, in other words, is there an opportunity here? Is there a pattern among the competitors? Are there common mistakes among the competitors that we can exploit in order to make sure that when we introduce a product or we modify our own product, that we stand out starting with the main image? We want the main image to catch the eye of the shopper, okay? So if I simply go down, think of this like I'm a shopper, I searched for the term chocolate gift box. Search results came back on my desktop here inside for Amazon.com. Here's the results that came back, both a mix of sponsored and organic. Now, when I look at this, the first thing that I notice, of course, that catches the eye of humans very commonly is going to be motion, right? So there is a sponsored brand video ad down here, and of course, it caught my attention, okay? Second is I can see that the headline ad or the sponsored brand headline up above, it has some gold boxes. The gold boxes basically look the same, but they kind of stand out because there's this extra white space up on top. And so there's extra spacing, the images are different size than everything else. And so it does catch the attention, but it doesn't catch the attention for very long because, again, the images are smaller. They're basically, looks like a repeat of the same thing, even though they're different products. And it doesn't really draw the attention. The bigger images are going to draw the attention of the shopper's eye first. Third, as I see right away, is Tazo has come in. They're not even coming in with a box of chocolates. They're coming in with a gift box for something else, but they're advertising it to people who are searching for a box of chocolates. And they are using orange as part of their box, bright, high contrast colors that stand out from the common color that is used within the search results. In other words, unlike anything else that the competitors are using in their main images, can catch the eye of the shopper easily. That can be bright red, bright blue, in this case, bright orange, okay? The orange does grab the attention. Now, it does not sell the same product. In other words, it's missing some context or it's missing some relevance to what the shopper searched for, but our first attempt here, of course, is to make sure that we're catching the eye of the shopper, which this does well. So the sponsored brand video ad, the headline ad as far as the gold box is on top, and then the orange box on top. Now, if I go down a little bit deeper, what I can find is there is a common pattern among most of these competitors where it's basically a brown or a black, maybe a gold square box showing the chocolates. Okay, that is a common pattern that we see. Common patterns often get ignored by shoppers fairly quickly because it starts looking the same after a while. It requires something a little bit different in order to stand out. Now, a couple of things that stand out here is we have this crammed together packaging of vending machine kind of junk food into a gift box. Again, this is not a product that is directed specifically for somebody who's looking for a chocolate gift box. However, they happen to be organically ranked well, and they've got massive social proof for a very inexpensive candy variety gift box. Probably not the right audience. There's probably a lot of what they probably get is a lot of high click through and a lot of sessions to the product listing just out of curiosity seekers, those who want to go and look at the listing to see what's all in this thing. I wonder if I should consider that instead of a chocolate gift box, or for myself or my kids, maybe for their lunches, who knows? But it is off topic, right? Here's another one that stands out simply because it stands out like a sore thumb that well, okay, there is a thumb actually in here. It stands out because it's unlike the pattern of that square brown box that is commonly seen on this page. Now, this one here has to do where it creates a little bit of confusion, but the point here is it does draw the eye of a shopper because it's different. It stands out from most of the other listings. Now, in this case here, it is a sponsored ad. They're trying to say, hey, here is an exploding box of cakes, maybe, that is an alternative. Maybe it's fun, it's different, it's unique. I can see why they are advertising to this audience, but I imagine that the conversion rate might be lower simply because it's not exactly what it's out of context, right? It is not what the shopper intended for, right? Heart-shaped box, bright red color, compared to the common square boxes that we're seeing here, right? Now we happen to know this, we can qualify this and happen to know that this is found at your local gas station even, I mean, it's a very cheap, inexpensive product. And of course, it's only, $8 compared to a lot of these other ones, which are $30 to $50, right? Farther down, you can see some other exceptions where they're kind of going off the main kind of differentiated, but they're low enough down in the search results that they may not be seen by the shopper ultimately, okay? Now, scanning through the titles of this, we can see some common things that are used as far as generic terms like birthday, sympathy, family parties, get well, gift option, gourmet snack food, holiday, assorted. There's a number of things that are used that are commonly recurring here, which is very common among most product niches, because a lot of new sellers copy existing top selling sellers and they end up with the same image, the same kind of titles. And basically what happens is when all of the results, or most of the results, start looking a lot like the same. The problem with the same and being in line with what most of your competition is doing on page one of the search results is you vanish, you disappear, the shopper does not see you. You need to stand out. So in this case here, I would definitely look at what could I do to the packaging. I might still go, if the product that I'm selling is a square box of chocolates, it may be even a brown or a black or a gold box of chocolates. However, there's some things that I would do to the main image to make it stand out. First and foremost, you can see things like this one here. They actually have a striped, piece of fabric or piece of plastic or a label or something like that that goes across the box. I would probably make that a high contrast color, something like an orange, a red, a blue, something that is going to stand out and just pop and just catch the eye, right? So that's one thing I would do. The second thing I noticed on this is that most of these boxes, they have a kind of similar angle where it looks like they're basically sitting on a table. They're tilted to the left or they're tilted to the right. And I would look to see, are most of my competitors tilted to one side? I would typically tilt it to the other side. If most of them are tilted off to the left, I would tilt it off to the right, or I would go for even a stronger angle, a stronger display. This one here does catch the eye for this chocolate gift basket. It's not a basket, it is a tin, right? And so they're not even using the right terminology in their title. But what they've done here is, instead of simply just having the lid lined up with the rest of the box and just slid off partially, they cocked it to an angle, to a 45-degree angle, which catches the eye. So little things like that, little subtle changes to the images. You could easily split test these using Amazon experiments, but test these kind of things to see where you get more sessions or more click-throughs if you're running an ad onto your main image. It shows that the shopper saw your listing, saw your main image, and then ultimately click through on it. Second is a common pattern we saw, of course, in the titles, or common overuse of generic terms that are designed in order to talk to the Amazon search engine. Things like Christmas holiday gift, assorted chocolates, birthday gift, holiday, get well, happy, happy whatever, right? In other words, the sellers in their title are speaking to the search engine. They're not speaking to the shopper. The shopper knows why they're buying it. They don't need to be told, hey, here's a few other ideas. It's not a new concept. They searched for the product. What they need to understand is, what is it about your gift box that stands out? What words in the title, preferably in the first 75 to 80 characters, so that it shows up automatically by default inside of a mobile app for Amazon search. In the first 75 to 80 characters, what is it about that chocolate box that they need to know that stands out from the competition? That includes, is there anything in the product title that can catch their eye? Some kind of an odd word that may be a synonym of a common word that's being used by competitors. You might come up with a brand new word that nobody else is using that simply just stands out because it's saying the same thing, but it's different from everybody else. Okay. Those kinds of things like a capital X, in the title, little things like that catch the shopper's eye because they notice things that are out of place a little bit or unique, and they'll stop for a second, they'll pause and they'll look at the image, they'll pause and they'll look at the title. But ultimately, we want to move on and get them to interest, right? So part two of this is interest, in which we want the product title to create curiosity in the shopper. The title needs to show something that's compelling, 2 or 3 word benefit, 2 or 3 word unique feature about this product that's going to make it stand out. Is there some special ingredients? Are they spicy? Is there anything that makes your product, your chocolates, stand out from the competition, that is simply maybe it's a common ingredient or flavor or quality or some kind of feature or benefit that is common across most of these, but nobody else is pointing out. Look for those patterns, look for the mistakes, look for the missing information that you can put into your title in the first 75 to 80 characters that allows you to stand out from the competition, beg some curiosity of the shopper. We're not trying to do clickbait. We're simply just trying to give them enough of a reason to say, you know what, I'm curious, what else is going on here? If there's something where, maybe it's one of those things where you've got a theme to the chocolates. They're all mint flavored. They're all using dark chocolate. They're all using, pumpkin flavor or something like that stands out, that for somebody who's searching for that kind of product, it may stand out. It's like, oh, that's actually what I'm looking for. So any kind of a theme or a pattern of the product that you're selling that you can insert in there. Don't simply just say, oh, there's a variety. Put something in there that's going to stand out. Do you have one chocolate in there that's a surprise? Are they all surprises? Do you actually, is there one surprise chocolate? Is there one that is, has a Godiva signature to it? I don't know. What is it that sets yours apart? Did you have some special design on the top of the chocolates that is cute or is themed or that stands out, that might be fun for the end user? Remember, you're not really selling the product. You're not selling the product and the image and the title on Amazon to the person who's going to eat the chocolates. You are actually selling it to the person who's buying the chocolates, right? And those could be two different things, especially when it's a gift box, okay? Now, ultimately, we want the action of the shopper to show interest by clicking through to the product listing to learn more. Now, let me go through and take an example of one of these and show you within a specific product. Let me kind of go down and just kind of randomly pick one that's not sponsored. Let me just take the first one. Let's see what we got here. I'm going to click through here. Now on this one here, keep in mind is that 80% of your shoppers will only stay on this top section of the product listings. So you've got the title, you've got the main image, you've got the remaining images, you probably have a video or up to 3 videos, and you've got the about this item bullet points that show up here, okay? Now, because 80% of the shoppers stay up here and only 20% of the shoppers ever go down to the description or the A+ content, your focus, your time should be spent on maximizing exactly what your messaging here is in the top portion of the product listing. You've already got them over with the title. Maybe the remaining of your title is not going in. Here's a common mistake that I see. It's a gift basket, okay? It says a birthday gift basket for women and men, gourmet happy birthday cake box arrangements, husband, wife, mom, dad, blah, blah, blah. They're boyfriend, girlfriend. They're basically just making the mistake of stuffing the title with words that make no sense and have no value to the shopper. This is not going to increase conversion, and it's not going to increase ranking on Amazon with the search engine. Okay. Amazon sees the rest of your content. It does not have to be in the title in order for Amazon to understand who it's for. And ultimately, the shopper already used the search term chocolate gift box. Even if they were looking for something like gift boxes for mom, having mom in the title is not going to influence the search engine of Amazon to show your product listing any higher, right? So they've just wasted the second half, or I would say a good 2/3 of this title is wasted on stuffer words that have no added value for the shopper. There's no compelling value. And at this point, if that's all the shopper has time to read, they've left because you didn't offer anything new in the remaining of the title. Okay. The second thing that they're likely to do is they'll probably look over at the images, especially if they're on the mobile app. They're going to look at the images first before they look at the bullet points. Okay. Long bullet points is another common mistake because in the mobile app for Amazon, it's only going to show typically the first 3 short bullet points. If you have long bullet points, first and foremost, the shopper is not going to take the time to read it. Okay. This is where my 5-second rule comes into play here. Everything that is in the product listing should be able to be consumed and answer the question, what's in it for me, to the shopper in 5-second chunks. I can't read this bullet point in 5 seconds and understand what's in it for me. Okay. Beautiful big gift box with 12 chocolate covered cookies, blah. Don't care. What's in it for me? Handmade and dipped in premium dark dessert chocolate. Kind of borderline there. Great congratulations gift for all occasions. Too generic to have any value. Give with confidence, always gourmet and fresh. Give with confidence, always gourmet and fresh should be the top one, because that's telling me it's like, oh yeah, I want to give somebody something that is gourmet. I want to give them something that is fresh because I want to be the hero to the person I'm giving this to. This particular listing made the mistake of burying their best benefit to the shopper down in the 4th bullet point, and then they stuffed a whole bunch of long words and probably a bunch of other keywords. If it's anything like their title, they probably stuffed it with a bunch of other nonsensical stuff words. In fact, they did right here very badly, to the point where a shopper is simply not going to read this, right? If they can't consume a piece of information in 5 seconds and understand what's in it for them, they're going to bounce. They're going to move on. Okay. Let's shift over to now. The way that I would always do this is I would open up with maybe a 3 or 4 word benefit statement to the shopper, right? Because they're the one buying it. And then if you want to add in some kind of short, in other words, 5 to 6 word feature, for instance, that supports that benefit, you're welcome to do so. But definitely not this paragraph, and certainly not talking about things that don't matter to the shopper. Okay. Now, when it comes to the images, when it comes to the secondary images, now on this one here, okay, this tells me what's in it for me. Okay, this is a box that looks nice because it comes with a silk cloth behind it and a big round label sticker that sits on top. No, obviously it doesn't, right? All this simply does is add some fluff that doesn't really help. Sure, it's kind of it's got some nice color tones and everything. Doesn't really do anything for me as the shopper other than knowing what does it look like when it's closed, right? Second one, what a birthday surprise. Okay, which is what? What's the surprise? The chocolates? Is there something in there that's going to surprise the person who's getting them thinking they're chocolates and actually something else? What's the surprise? This is not clear at all, right? The image didn't do anything in order to elaborate what the surprise really is, right? What's the emotion of that's going to be for the shopper when the recipient says, oh my gosh, you thought it, you know exactly what I wanted. This was delicious. This is fantastic. They blew it with this image, okay? This one here, they basically threw a whole bunch of they did candles and coins and feathers, and there's no, it's just bad photography. They're trying, there's not even lifestyle photography on that one. There's no additional message here other than basically reiterating what's in the first box, what's in the first image. This one here, okay, so this one, they've got them dunking what looks like an Oreo into a bowl of hot chocolate. So is this a kit that comes with some chocolate that you're supposed to melt in the microwave? I'm confused. Don't ever confuse the shopper, right? You always want to have your listing avoid confusing the shopper or introducing conflicting messages. And adding in a bowl of melted chocolate, presumably, is that part of this? Is that expected? Is it only work if that comes with it? You can see where they blew it. You found a gift she'll love. Okay, This could have been written a lot better. First of all, it's used in a script font that might be a little bit hard to read for some. I can certainly understand. Now, this thing looks huge. The box in the picture looks to be, I would say maybe what, 15 inches across? And this one here looks like it's, if this is 15 inches across, chocolates, these dozen chocolates are massive. Those have got to be a good 2 to 3, probably 3.5 inches across. These things are massive. These things are the size of my fist. So either most likely what happened here is they had somebody Photoshop this box onto a lifestyle image, and they had no concept when it comes to correct size ratios. And so now there's another conflicting message. Is this a huge box, right? Or is it a small box? Am I expecting this big box to come and a small box shows up because it only has a dozen? Which is it, right? I don't know. And the bullet points don't tell me the size of this. It just says, hey, there's 12 decadent flavors chocolates, right? Again, happy birthday, right? So they're going for this whole happy birthday thing, right? Again and again, and it's not providing any additional value. There's also no video of somebody who's actually opening the box and like they're surprised and they're like when they're grabbing a hold of one, it's like they're experiencing it. You know, I mean, there could easily be a video in here that is 15 seconds long of somebody simply just picking it up and showing them, picking up so they have a size, they understand the size, the proportion size, or the portion size of these, so that when they pick them up, are they big or are they small? That's something I'd want to know as a shopper. So at this point, I would guess that this particular product has got a low conversion rate because they completely blew the messaging to the shopper, right? The last thing on this is that let's say that we actually did solve all these issues, which are easy to solve for this kind of product. The last thing to make sure that we lock in the desire by the shopper to actually get them to convert, to commit to the purchase, to convert for a sale, is to make sure that any alternative products are suppressed. Now, this one doesn't actually have much in the way of other ads that are normally running. Usually there's product display product ads that are running below the add to cart. Maybe they're running below the bullet points, and then further on down, there's some additional ads that may be running. And usually if I've got multiple products, I want to make sure that I'm cross promoting multiple products, not child variations, but making sure that at least those top couple of ads, top 2 or 3 ads, are being blocked from competitors trying to occupy that same space and distracting my shopper from going away. So what we've gone through here today is the attention, interest, desire, action, AIDA, okay? We talked about how to make your image stand out from a competition that has a similar pattern in the search results and catch the eye of the shopper, have something in the image and the title that compels the shopper, gets their interest to come through to the product listing, and then once at the product listing, build the desire. Avoids confusing messages, avoids conflicting messages or images, and ultimately has them saying, this is the product for me. I'm not distracted. I'm not confused. Everything answers my question. I'm clear on what's in it for me. If I buy this product, I'm going to purchase. My name is Brian Johnson. As you can see on the right-hand side here, if you want to have my agency do this for each of your products, do a full listing optimization, including the correct photography, including all the copywriting, all the assessment as far as what the competition is doing, how to craft the messaging in order to compel the shopper, grab their attention, and compel the shopper to ultimately purchase and to increase the conversion rate of your product, then definitely reach out to my team over at Canopy Management. You can do that at bit.ly/CanopyLOT or listing optimization. Okay. If you want me to walk you through the process, then you can hire me for coaching. I will be talking about product differentiation and benefit positioning, and I will give you plenty of homework, I guarantee. You can also reach me at the link on the right-hand side. Thank you again, and have a fantastic day.